How you doing, everybody? It's Teddy from the gun shop. Crappy day out today. Long day at work. Snow and ice till about 11 this morning. This is a lot of people want to see this video. This is a new gun I picked up from Bud's Gun Shop. It was $200, $199, and I've been waiting for this for a long time to come out. It's a Taurus. It's the G2s. It is a single stack magazine, 7 rounds. These are not the base plates that came with this gun. The base plates that came with it are just, you can't see them, I'm not going to take them out. They're just a flat one where you can't even get your pinky around it. Obviously the gun's empty. But see, now I can get my pinky around it. Okay? And before we get into the video, I'm going to tell you, these are the pinky grips. Fits Taurus PT709 2-pack. It's Fixer Components brand from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Okay, you go on, obviously they're made in China, but if you go on Amazon, you will see them. This is it right here. I will put that up there so you can see it. And all I had to do is, I'm not going to take it off now, but on the back side of this, all I had to do is lightly sand them. I put them flat down on a sanding disc and just cleaned them up a little bit, because when you get them, obviously they're not for this gun, but I mean, you can see the fit and finish on this. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it fits perfect. I cleaned them all up, sanded them lightly. When you get it, it will not allow the magazine to click all the way in. So by taking just a little bit off on this plastic piece before you assemble it, you hear that? It's right on there, nice. It's perfect. See how nice that is? I mean, it fits like it was made for the gun. And what I can't understand is the G2C, which is the double stack 9mm Taurus, comes with this from the factory. So I don't know why they wouldn't put this on this gun. It makes no sense to me. Okay, so that's, I mean, it's beautiful. Just comes in a silly box like this. Comes with a lock, 2 magazines, and I put 350 rounds through it the other day. 200 of them were like just non-stop loading the magazines going. It has a double guide rod. I'll take it apart and show you. It's plastic. It's not stainless steel. The barrel seems to be in good shape after all that pounding it took. It does have an adjustable rear sight on it. Okay, elevation and windage is adjustable. It has a safety right there. Let's take it apart right now, and I will show you. See, this is what we got here. Just like, you know, basic. I'm going to talk about the trigger in a second too. Here's your guide rod. There's the barrel, stainless barrel. Okay, serial number on it. The ramp comes pretty decently polished from the factory. Here's your double guide rod right here, which is, I don't know, seems to be pretty good. I think I'm going to pick up the stainless one just to be on the safe side. I don't know. You never know. The Glock's got one that's plastic, and I've never had trouble with that. This thing's all filthy in here because all the rounds I put through. So this is going to get cleaned really well. When I got this gun, the first thing I did, I took it out of the package, and the trigger on it was horrible. So I took the slide off the gun, and I'm playing around with it, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and like the trigger bar goes a little bit, stops. It was very gritty. Now the factory trigger that comes with this gun is right here. Let's talk about this. I'm not going to play around with that all night either. Here's your factory trigger that comes with this. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got the safety blade right in the center. Okay, you got a pin that holds it in there, okay? There's no spring at all. It just has a little piece on there, and it pushes against and pops back. It's junk. It has a little metal hook that's made inside the plastic on that blade. I hope you can see that. That right there is what hooks onto the trigger bar. So if you go on the outside of this trigger and move it, the gun's not going to fire. You got to pull that center thing. I mean, you could see how inconsistent that is. It's junk. So what I did is I went on and watched some videos and this and that, and this is what I came up with. Galloway Precision makes a nice flat, shorter pull trigger. You don't have to change the trigger bar or the spring or anything. It's called the Asmund SS trigger. It fits the G2C, the PT111 G2, and it fits the G2s Millennium, which this is here. Okay, that's it right there. If anybody's interested in it, I know a couple people reached out to me and were interested in the trigger that I put in there. All right, what I did is I completely disassembled the gun. And if you don't feel comfortable, maybe bring it to a gunsmith or something. But there's a ton of videos on YouTube. I'm not going to do any videos of ripping this completely apart because I don't want somebody to have something happen and I don't want them to blame me for it. So you won't see any of this completely ripped apart, but it was gutted. I took the Galloway trigger that you could see how it's flat and it is a shorter pull on it. Now this is a double single action trigger, okay? The reset on it is amazing. I will show you when I put the slide back on. I removed the factory trigger, the safety blade, and put all that aside in the little package that this new Galloway trigger came in. This Galloway trigger did have a slot for the safety blade. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. It's got the red line in it there. What I did is I wanted to fill that in because I wasn't putting the trigger safety back on. What I used is, and you could laugh, but I took a Sharpie, the smaller ones, and I took the cap right here where you clip in your pocket. I broke that off and I actually made a piece to fit in there. I used the red marker because I figured the red would look pretty cool. Alright, and it absolutely fit perfect in there. So I filed it and cleaned it and I got it to fit nice. I super glued it and let it sit overnight, and then I lightly filed it and polished it. Then I put the trigger back together with the factory trigger spring and trigger bar, and there's no grittiness and there's no clicking and back and forth. Like it felt like somebody dumped sand in the gun. It was ridiculous. I know this is a cheaper gun, but why would you even put a trigger safety when you have a safety over here? It doesn't make sense. Makes no sense at all. I'm going to put the slide back on this, and I'm going to show you what the trigger reset does. Okay. Okay, so here's the take up right here on the trigger, which there's a decent amount. Okay, there's the brake, nice. Now watch the reset on this trigger. Let me see if you can get it. You can see it right there. Watch the trigger brake. It's beautiful. It's 10 times better than the factory trigger. 10 times better. Right there, it brakes, back, and there it is. Okay. It has a small rail on the front. You can put a laser on there, a light, whatever. It has a fixed front sight. I believe what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sight off, and I am going to end up putting on a fiber optic sight on the front and back. And I don't like the back sight that came with it. I'm not happy at all with it. I threw, like I said, consistently over 200 rounds of Federal brass through it, 9mm, 115 grain, and I really couldn't hit the broadside of a barn that day because I was off on my shooting, but I did pretty good. I did fairly well with it. It also has a let's see what we can do here. I have some homemade snap caps I made that are, if I can get them out. Can you imagine that? I can't get the snap caps out. I have to get some here. Let me just get a little pair of pliers here. I'll be right with you. I don't know why they're in there so far. That's crazy. 5 of them. Okay. Teddy's Gun Shop. I don't like buying stuff that I can make myself, so here's some 9mm snap caps. If you do any reloading, you can get some 9mm brass, knock out the, so it doesn't look too bad. Resize it and deprime it. And what I do is I crimp it and then I fill it up with some a glue gun. Just fill it in and then I mark it with red on there. But I want to show you quickly what I have here. Okay. Alright, you barely can see it, which I like because it's not gaudy looking or sticking way up. The loaded tells you got one in the chamber right there. You can see the red little indicator that's up right there. It's not too bad. There's your safety. You got nothing. Okay. Not going to do anything obviously because it's a snap cap. So there's your snap cap right on the ground. It's good to get into the practice of, you know, if you had a round that didn't go off, you know, of ejecting it or whatever, like if you were at the range. I'm happy with the gun for 200 bucks. I think that Taurus has come a long way in the last 4 or 5 years. I think they're on the right track right now. I just think they need to do a couple little things, couple little odds and ends that they could have done to this gun to make it better, but excuse me, I'm yawning. I don't think a $200 gun, I never thought it to be this good of a weapon, you know, it's amazing. I don't have a holster for it right now. I will be getting one soon. I think all I'm going to do is the sights on it and possibly the stainless guide rod. That's all I would do. I mean, it's an amazing gun for the money. Teddy's Gun Shop. Right there. There it is. The gun's empty. There's nothing in it. This gun I've been watching for probably 2 years, and I'm like, you know, I hope they really make this Connecticut compliant. So that's about all I'm going to say right now. This is the Taurus G2s 9mm single stack 7-shot. It's a nice polymer handgun, and we're going to see how this gun lasts because I'm going to run a lot of rounds for this thing. After 1,000 rounds, I'll do another video just to see how the barrel's wearing in and everything. I've noticed a couple little spots inside here that are just probably from winding the thing up the other day, but I mean, you can't compare this to a $1,000 Colt handgun. But I'd carry this gun. I trust it. I'd carry it. I trust it. So we'll see what happens. So that's all we're gonna have for tonight. I got my Rock Island Armory 1911. Now there's a big gun right there for you. She's empty. 45 caliber. That's a nice piece of equipment right there. Very nice. Got the fiber optic front sight on it. Oh, Rock Island Armory, baby. So this is Teddy's Gun Shop. We're gonna sign off. Empty magazine. Taurus G2s 9mm. You're interested in getting one? You won't buy it for a couple $100. You won't go wrong. Do a few upgrades. Comment on my video if there's any more information that I can give you. Just leave a comment and I will get back to you. I'm not like some people that, you know, want to get some information and the people never even respond to them. I don't have 20 million subscribers, so even if I did, I'd get back to everybody. God bless America. Conceal your weapon. Be safe. And remember, nobody wants to spend 50% tax on a box of ammo in Connecticut. So to all the legislators and the representatives out there, you're all smoking crack. God bless everybody. Teddy's Gun Shop.